The beaches may be the big draw in San Diego, but for my money, boat beats beach, especially when you're the captain of your own ship, or at least the captain of a little two-seater with a 40-horsepower motor, and that is exactly why San Diego Speedboat Adventures may be my favorite attraction, and why thousands of others think the same thing. The trip begins on Harbor Island, which, as most of you know, is right across Harbor Drive from the airport. In fact, that's what made it so convenient for first-timers Michael and Debbie Flink.
We actually had just barely landed, and we're thinking of different things to do, looking at attractions on the web on a phone. Did it at a cafe, and we're here to go take the boat, able to take the boat ride. It was an incredible piece of luck and a beautiful time.
Yes, just a couple minutes from coffee to captain.
All right, so as we cruise out here onto the fairway, we'll just slowly push forward on our throttle controls, picking our speed up to about 5 miles an hour. Just simply match the speed of the boat in front of you, and as you do pick up that slight bit of speed, you should also begin to feel that the boat is actually a little bit easier to steer as well as control.
I'm so excited about this because you know me, I don't think you should ever come to San Diego without getting on the water. And that's our producer, Margaret, back there. She's never driven a boat. She was kind of nervous, but as she's proving right now, anybody can come over here and do this.
It didn't take long for our speedboat adventure to get really interesting. In fact, we were still at no wake speed when we got a glimpse of the Navy's Marine Mammal Training Program.
You can see the trainers working with the dolphin, and they do like to get a little playful, so keep your eyes peeled, and you may see one as we head on out to the bay.
And heading out to the bay was when we put the speed in Speedboat Adventures.
When you're taking off, you want to go full throttle right from the start. Unlike in your car where you'd slowly accelerate, it takes all the power these little things got to get them up and moving.
There's just nothing quite like the feel of being out on the open water, the sea breeze blowing through your thinning hair, and seeing things from a whole new perspective, like these bait docks loaded down with sea lions.
Inside are hundreds of thousands of live bait fish, primarily anchovy and sardine. That is the tuna fisherman's choice of bait.
This speedboat adventure lasts roughly an hour and takes you as far south as the Coronado Bridge. And while that is very much an impressive sight, I think for most people, it's the USS Midway that's the true highlight of the trip.
All right, so this aircraft carrier here, the CV-41, was first put into commission just 10 days following the end of World War II, but it did serve actively throughout Vietnam as well as Desert Storm. Now, each of those gold-colored anchors hanging there off the bow weigh about 40,000 pounds apiece.
I tell you what, there are two great ways to see the Midway. One is, of course, to do the tour, but you got to see it from the water. That just rounds it out on just how huge and magnificent it is.
All right, so we have now made it over here to the San Diego Maritime Museum. This first ship we see is the Star of India. And this was built back in 1863 and currently holds the record for being the second oldest sailing vessel in the world, the oldest iron hulled, still sailable. The blue and brown vessel in the back corner here looks like an old pirate ship. This is actually a modern replica of an 18th century British Royal Navy battleship, also known as a frigate.
And of course, this 1/3 scale replica was built for the Russell Crowe movie Master and Commander. And with that, it was time to push down the throttle for one last fast run up the bay. And let me tell you, there's nothing like it.